Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Mom. My name is Marvin Gianos, and I will continue a discussion on language shift in different communities. Okay, so as we all know, everyone, that language shift in different communities has three types, which is the migrant minorities, the non-migrant communities, and this one, the migrant majorities. Since natakil na yung dalawa, tapos na na-discuss, then let's proceed to the migrant majorities. So what is migrant majorities, everyone? So mudiretso na ko ha. So migrant majorities, everyone, from the word majorities, or majority in a society or majority in a community is not able or not fluent in speaking already their native language, and they are more uncomfortable in using their second language. Okay, their second language becomes their dominant language already because of some factors such as economic, political, and social factors. Or in short, everyone, kaning migrant majorities, everyone, mga tao ni sila sa isa ka society, sa isa ka community, or sa isa ka family nga dili na kaayo sila kabalo o dili na kay sila fluent in using their native language. Okay, nakalimtan na nila, halapit na nila i-abandon ila kaning language because mas nag-focus sila sa ilahang second language and mas dominant ang ilang second language nga gamiton sa ilahang sa society nila. So nakisabay sila sa uso, so mao to ilahang mas gamit nga language ang ilang second language. Okay, that lead to neglecting their first language already. So example of migrant majorities, everyone, is this example number 4. Okay, so Tamati lives in Wanganui, a large New Zealand town. Okay, he is 10 years old and he speaks and understands only English, though he knows a few Maori phrases. Okay, so let's stop there. So si Tamati, everyone, is a young boy or a child, lives in Wanganui. Wanganui, everyone, is a large town in New Zealand, and he is 10 years old and only speaks, makastorya lang siya o makasabot lang siya o English, though he knew a few Maori phrases. Gamay lang yang nabawalan sa Maori and more on phrases lang yang nabalaan. So unsa ba ning Maori, everyone? So kaning Maori, everyone, is a language. Okay, isa ni siya kalingwahe ang Maori that is being spoken by the Maori people. Okay, the indigenous population of New Zealand. Maori was the only language in New Zealand until the 19th century. Or in short, everyone, kaning Maori is the native language of New Zealand. Okay, let's continue. None of his mates know any Maori either. His grandfather speaks Maori. However, whenever there is a big gathering, such as a funeral or an important tribal meeting, his grandfather is one of the best speakers. Okay, let's stop there. So, dari nga statement, everyone, ginaingon sa tuang sa time karon ni Tamati, only mga elderly na lang or mga katigulangan na lang ang able and fluent in speaking Maori language. Okay, and example of that is ang iyang grandfather ni Tamati, the one of the best speakers daw of Maori language, and he uses only the Maori language in a big gathering such as funeral or an important tribal meeting or sa tribo nila kung na sila meeting. Okay, so next is Tamati's mother and father understand Maori, but they are not fluent speakers. They can manage a short, simple conversation, but that's about it. Okay, so dari, everyone, is makita ginato no nga sa time sa mga magpapa ni Tamati pa lang is gakahinay na gid og gakawala og ga language shift na ang Maori nga language because nagdako na lang iyang mama papa only maka-understand lang sila and maka-manage a short simple conversation lang yapon sila, and they are not even fluent in speaking Maori language. Okay. So, Tamati's little sister, Miriama, has just started a preschool where Maori is used. So, he thinks maybe he will learn a bit from her. Okay, so si Tamati, everyone, na siya little sister. Ang pangalan is si Mariama, na nagsugod pa lang o eskwela sa preschool. And good thing everyone, sa ilang community, especially sa preschool, ang ilang ginagamit nga language dito is ang Maori. In that context, everyone, or in that statement, they are already practicing the language maintenance. Okay, so as we all know, everyone, that language maintenance is the study of how language survive or the continuing, okay, use of minority or our native language in the face of a more regionally, socially, or politically dominant language. See, mas nice siyang strategy or idea, because even in a young age, in an early age, ginatudluan na ang mga bata about sa Maori language, di ba? Because pag-abot manggod nila og formal schooling sa senior and junior high school and college, dili na kayo ginagamit ang Maori language. More dito na gid ma-introduce ang English language sa ilaha. Okay. So everyone, nag-research po ko ginagmay. Gi-research na ako kung ang kanibang Maori language is still existing today sa New Zealand, and based sa akong research ana sa www.maorilanguage.info, today thousands of people speak Maori. Okay, thousands of people speak Maori as a second language. So see, grabe ang pag language shift from their first language karon the second language na nila ang Maori. So ang kaning whole context, ani example number for everyone is example dyan sa migrant majorities, because majority sa family ni Tamati or sa young society is dili na kay fluent, and dili na kay sila kabalo mo gamit og Maori language. Okay, so next, when language shift occurs, or kailan ba nangyayari itong language shift? Paano ba nato mabalaan nga ang ato ang community is nagahinay-hinay na siya og language shift? Okay, paano nato mabalaan, ma-figure out nga ang isa ka language shift occurs in a community? Okay, so in a community, everyone, there is we called dominant powerful group that has their own dominant language. Okay, pag iyon natong dominant powerful group, nangingibabaw sila talaga sa isa ka community. Mas gamit sila nga language, they are dominant because for them they are most appropriate language to use, and it is formal. Okay, so a dominant group, everyone, has a little incentive to adopt the language of a minority. Okay, tama naman siya, everyone, no? Kasi naman, pag ikaw dominant ka na language sa isa ka community or group, talagang maliit na lang na porsyento yung kaya mong i-adapt doon sa mga language of a minority. Okay? Kasi pati yung mga minority kasi na mga language, nag-a-adapt na kasi sila sa dominant language. So talagang mawala yun. Okay? Ma-left behind yun ang mga minority nga mga language. So, kaning dominant language, everyone, is associated with status, prestige, and social class. Kaya gamit kay siya, kaya dominant kay siya because of its status, prestige, and social success. Okay? So, it is used in the glamour context in the wider society for formal speeches, on ceremonial occasions, by news readers, on televisions and radio, and by those whom young people admire pop star fashion models, and DJs. Okay, so sad to say lang everyone, no, nalagi siya positive effect ang kaning language shift, but also naapod ni siya negative effect. Okay, so unsa ang negative effect aning language shift? Scarcely surprising that many young minority group speakers should see its advantages and abandon their language. Muna ang negative effect sa language shift is ma-abandon na nila or ma-neglect na nila ang ilahang first language, okay? That could lead to language death and language loss. Okay, so next topic is ang language death and language loss. Muna itong itakal na pod. So, unsa ba ning language death and language loss? Okay, so start tayo sa language death. Okay, everyone, when we say language death, in linguistics, language death occurs when a language loses its native speaker, okay? When it loses its last native speaker. When language dies, we lose cultures, entire civilizations, but also we lose people. Okay, so example aning language death is kanisa example number 5. In 2011, British newspapers reported that Ayapaneco, an indigenous language of Mexico, was in danger of dying out as the only two remaining fluent speakers aged 75 and 69 refused to talk to each other. Okay, so tara pa lang everyone, it is already considered as a language death. Okay? Paging kasi natong language death, the last fluent speaker of that native language dies. Okay? Pati, hindi lang ang tao yung namatay, but also the language. Okay? Ang tao at ang kanyang lingwahe ang namatay. So, that is considered as language death. Okay? Kaya sila na lang man ang last evidence or sila ang last kabalo and fluent in speaking that language. Diba? So, namatay sila. So, kasama nilang namatay ang lingwahe. So, next. Language loss. So, pag-iingnan naman natong language loss, everyone. Language loss, it is when the language is no longer known, including by second language speakers, also describing the loss of proficiency in a first language as an individual. Or in short, everyone, paging natong language loss is losing our ability, our proficiency in using our native language. Okay, so example of this is this, example number 6. Annie at 20 is young speaker of Deribal, an Australian Aboriginal language. She also speaks English, which she learned at school. There is no written Deribal material for her to read, and there are fewer and fewer contexts in which she can appropriately hear and speak the language. So she is steadily becoming less proficient in it. Okay, she can understand the Deribal she hears used by older people in her community, and she uses it to speak to her grandmother, but her grandmother is scathing about her ability in Deribal, saying Annie doesn't speak the language properly. Okay, so si Annie, everyone, is one of the example of language loss because ang iyang ability and iyang proficiency in speaking and using Deribal is gakahinay naog, gakawala. Okay? Because daghan pud mga factors, everyone, nga nung gakawala ang atuang ability in speaking our native language. Isa dara is lack of support sa society. Okay, lacking of support. Tanawa ra gud because there is no written Deribal material for her to read, and there are fewer and fewer contexts in which she can appropriately hear and speaking the language. So dara pa lang, everyone, wala na kay lack of support na kayo ang community sa Deribal na language, di ba? So sila na mismo ang nag-neglect o nag-abandon aning durable language. So it leads talaga to language loss, and mas naglala ang kondisyon ay ang ano ni ani in speaking and iyang ability o iyang proficiency in speaking durable. That's why naka-conclude iyang grandmother nga ang ability daw o ang proficiency ni ani in speaking in durable does not speak the language properly. Dili na kayo maayo o di na ka siya maayo in speaking the durable language because lack of support sa society busa na mas naglala and it lead to language loss. So sad kayo siya. So karon everyone di na ta malibog no kung about sa language death, the difference about language death and language loss. Okay, so pag-iyon na tong language death everyone, the last native speaker and its language dies. Both sila namatay, okay? Ang tao o ang iyang lingwahe. Pag-iyon naman itong language loss, walay namatay dari everyone ha. It is just losing our ability and our proficiency in using our native language because of lack of support, okay, of the community and other factors pod nga nung mawala jud siya magkahinay og kawala. So that would be all everyone. Thank you and have a nice day. Bye-bye.